Thursday, November 6th, and we have a fantastic matchup for Thursday Night Football between the Raiders and the Broncos, and we are going to go over the 4 best player props for that game, along with the Sportsbook play of the day. Who's going to win, who's going to lose, the unders, the overs, all of that in this video. So make sure that you are paying attention. Before we get rocking and rolling and going over all of those free plays that have been perfectly crafted for Thursday Night Football in the NFL for you guys in this video, go ahead, smash that like button for me. Super simple, easy way to support the channel. And not only that, it'll push this video out in the algorithm, getting more eyes on, more people cashing with us. And then if you're new here, if you haven't already, this channel is newer. On the newer side, things have happened with the YouTube police. They came, they had a warrant, they took it down. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you do not miss a free play drop. I drop these videos every single day, never missing a beat and making a ton of money right here on the channel. And the last, but most important thing that you can do for yourself, for your wallet, go down in the description. Visit my buddy Stan. He'll send you over to Winible. If anything happens with YouTube, you can get my free plays there every single day. Not only that, it'll be sent straight to your phone. There's bonus free plays dropped every day as well. On top of that, a free Discord, an amazing community of sports bettors just like yourself, where we get together, talk sports, win together, lose together, all of that. Tons of fun over there down below with my buddy Stan. And there's much, much more down there. Go check it out. There's also free money involved from apps. All you have to do is sign up with code FFAPE. Now, something I have to say, get it off my chest here so that I don't get in trouble. Gambling involves significant risk. There are no guarantees of profit, and you could lose some or all of your money. The content in this video is for informational, entertainment, and educational purposes only and does not constitute financial or legal advice. Past performances is not indicative of future results. We are not responsible for any losses that may occur as a result of using the information provided here. Viewers must be 18 or older or legal age in their jurisdiction to gamble. If you have a gambling problem, please seek help. All of those resources are down below. This video may contain affiliate links, which they do. We may receive a commission for signups made through these links, which we do. But when you sign up and you send proof to the number down below, you also get not only all the deposit matches and free money that they're handing out to you guys when you use code FFAPE, but a free 30 days of premium plays. And this is exactly what we've been doing in premium and the free plays for the past couple days, cashing out play after play. We hit this one today on Wednesday, minus 139 easy buckets, minus 116, another great play that was perfectly crafted for premium. And why not? We're not done there. We had the Warriors, Wichita State, and Duke the other night. Then we had Tyrese Maxey, Draymond Green. And this was the free play from Monday Night Football, in which we swept the entire video, cashing out this monster 7x play. And then premium also had a plus 254 and a plus 495. And we just kept on cashing all of these winning slips over in premium and right here on the channel. And if you want to get into premium for the low, use code YouTube for 90% or 80% off, actually. Code YouTube 80% off on the month pass. But the cheapest way to get in right now, 2 slots remaining for the football full season pass. Use code LIMITED, LIMITED, and get 80% off. You can finance it, making it like a $2 a day. Very, very cheap. The easiest way to get in at the lowest price. Now let's talk about all these player props for Thursday Night Football. They're absolutely amazing. I love them. I'm locking them in. If you don't like them, don't. But I'm willing to bet we're about to hit. It's so hard to say the right things in this video so that I don't get a strike. I'm trying, guys. Bear with me. New lingo that I'm trying to use to not alert the system and take the video down. So if I stutter or if I pause before I say a word, just know it's because I don't want to get another strike. I'm trying to stay on YouTube, trying to make you guys money every single day. They don't want us to win, but we're going to keep on doing it. And we're taking J.K. Dobbins here on Thursday night, over 49.5 rushing yards. I think they're going to keep it on the ground a ton in this game. Bleed the clock. J.K. Dobbins is probably going to get this in the fourth quarter when they're up by a ton touchdowns because I think the Denver Broncos are going to walk all over the Raiders team. The Raiders, they're kind of a joke in the NFL. They just traded away one of their better receivers, obviously Jacoby Myers, going to the Jaguars. They're obviously in rebuild mode, and the Denver Broncos are making a push for the playoffs, but the Raiders are trying to play spoiler right now, and I don't think they're going to be able to spoil this one. We got J.K. Dobbins over 50 or 49 and a half rushing yards. I think he's going to get well over 50 in this matchup. He's done it head-to-head just last season in both of those games. 135 broke out for a monster game in that one, and then 63 clearing this prop in both of those. Now, rushing yards allowed, as you can see here on the right side of your screen. Overall, the Raiders rank 16th. That's mostly because of Max Crosby. Against the running backs, they rank 14th. Not too shabby. Middle of the pack in the league. But J.K. Dobbins has been ripping big game after big game all season long, with a couple in here where they just didn't get it done. He only got 40 against the Jets, who are absolutely abysmal. But every other game this season, he has cruised over this line, getting 60 or more in all of those games, greening out 8 of his last 10. But this one is from last season, so we don't put a ton of stock in that. He wasn't even on the Broncos last year. He has a field day against the Raiders. He's going to do it again for us on Thursday. And as you can see down below, Travis Etienne just last week ripped off 84 yards. Even the backup greened out on his line as well. Pacheco, 57. Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard, they combined for 65, and they're more of a two-headed monster where J.K. Dobbins is the premier workhorse running back on the Denver Broncos. Yes, they have RJ Harvey, but he doesn't really get a ton of carries. And then Jonathan Taylor didn't green out, but he still had over 60 yards. So all of the running backs that they have faced, just about with the exception of Kareem Hunt, but Isaiah Pacheco on that same team got over 50. And as a combined running back 1 and running back 2, every single team has gone over this line, and we already know J.K. Dobbins is the man that they lean on in Denver. So we absolutely love him over 49 and a half against this struggling Raiders defense. Next, we have Troy Franklin over 39 and a half receiving yards. I think they're going to lean on him more than normal with the injury to Marvin Mims. He's going to have to step up and be the wide receiver too. And Bo Nix honestly loves the guy anyway. They have great history together going back all the way to college. I think he's going to have a good game in this one. I honestly like his receiving yards, 39 and a half, but I think I might even like his fantasy points even more over on Prizepicks, over 9.5. Why do I like that? Because that factors in yards, receptions, and I am leaning towards the fact that I believe Troy Franklin will get into the end zone on Thursday. Another little bonus play in here, if you're listening and you're really paying attention, we're going to take Troy Franklin for the first touchdown scored. And if any of this is confusing, you can go to Winible and see exactly how I lock this in. But the official play will be for all of you that can't maybe get Prizepicks or can't get a DFS is Troy Franklin over 39.5. But if you can get Prizepicks, I would lean towards his fantasy points more so, because I do like him over 9.5, because there's just a plethora of ways that he can do it. Now, as far as the receiving yards allowed goes, the Raiders, they rank 19th in the league, but let me tell you, they shouldn't be that high. They have given up some monster games. Now, we know Troy Franklin's the wide receiver too, but I do think he's going to be stepping up even more, like I said, with Marvin Mims out. As you can see here, he's only done this in 5 of his last 10 games. He had a real bad stretch there of those 3 games, and he broke off for 89 against a really, really bad Dallas Cowboys defense, and then went back to earth with 27. But the Houston Texans have a very, very, very good defense. And as you can see down below, there's a ton of wide receivers that have greened out. Parker Washington, who is not the wide receiver 1 for the Jaguars, cleared this line with absolute ease. Brian Thomas Jr., he also got 55, but you could kind of say that he is the wide receiver 1. I don't really know who they like to lean on nowadays, because Brian Thomas Jr. has cement hands. And then Rashee Rice got 42, but I do believe that was his first game back. They were easing him into it. Juju Smith-Schuster cleared his line. Xavier Worthy, 35, didn't clear his line, but still had 35 yards. Taquan Thornton, 39. As you can see, they are pretty stingy as far as the defense goes, but they do give up some yards to wide receiver twos, and we absolutely love Troy Franklin and just the Denver Broncos as a whole to have a very, very good game on offense. And that brings us to Courtland Sutton over 49.5 yards, the clear wide receiver one on this Denver Broncos team. Again, with Marvin Mims out, all of these guys are going to get even more targets, and Courtland Sutton is going to be the top dog for the Denver Broncos. Now, we're taking two wide receivers from the Broncos here, but I love both of them to clear their respective lines that I'm talking about in this video. I think they're going to have a great, great game against the Raiders. I think ONYX will probably get close to 200 yards. I wouldn't take his passing yards in this game unless maybe you want to knock it down a little bit, just because the ONYX side of things, he hasn't really had a great success in a lot of games. He's gone over 200 yards in like only 2 games, but wide receivers tend to go over their yards, and I do think that they're going to be able to rip off big plays just like they did, or just like the Jaguars did last week against this Raiders defense. And the Raiders, honestly, they're trying to play spoiler. I know it's a divisional matchup, so they might try a little bit harder than they did against the Jaguars last week, but I still think the Denver Broncos are going to walk all over this Raiders team. And we already know all the wide receivers and what they did in the history against this Raiders defense, but we love the Denver Broncos to have a day. We're taking Courtland Sutton here over 49.5 receiving yards. He's done this in 7 of his last 10 games, really only not doing it in that one fluky game against the Jets, and then the Houston Texans with their great defense. And it was a low-scoring game, but this total in this matchup is 42.5. I think it's going to get there. I think the Denver Broncos are probably going to get there almost by themselves, probably score about 30 in this game. I'm leaning on them to get at least 3 touchdowns and a field goal at the bare minimum. So I absolutely love Courtland Sutton to get all over the field, put up a ton of yards, and go over this 49.5 receiving yards. And last but not least, we got Brock Bowers for the Raiders. Probably the only Raider worth taking is Brock Bowers, and we're taking him here over 4.5 receptions. He's clearly cleared this line in many, many games, going 6 of his last 10, most of those coming within this season. And he's averaging 5.9 receptions on the year. That we know that they just traded Jacoby Myers. I think Trey Tucker is going to have a decent game, but Brock Bowers is the clear number 1 option for Geno Smith and for the Raiders as a whole. That offense runs through Brock Bowers. He just ripped off 12 receptions and over 100 yards and 3 touchdowns last week against the Jaguars. I think that they are going to have I think Brock Bowers is going to have a monster game, whether the Raiders do or not. I don't see them having a very good game at all against this Denver's Broncos defense, but Brock Bowers is the focal point of this offense. And as you can see here, Denver Broncos do rank 5th in receptions allowed to tight ends, but it's Brock Bowers, so we're really not worried about any of that. Dalton Schultz got 6. Jake Ferguson there wasn't targeted at all. And then none of the other tight ends even came close to their line or close to getting 5 receptions, but they're not as good as Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is probably the best tight end in the league. The Raiders have literally no other options on the field. He is the only Raider that I really, really want to target in this game, and we're taking Brock Bowers over 4.5 receptions. Now, again, another one that I really like more than even the receptions or his receiving yards is his fantasy points. Why? Because he gets it with yards, receptions, and touchdowns, and I do think he probably gets into the end zone on Thursday. So we're going to, if you lock in, take his over 15 fantasy points over on Prizepicks. And don't forget, when you sign up for Prizepicks and use code FFAPE, you play $5 and you get $50 instantly to play with over there on Prizepicks just for using code FFAPE. And on top of that, little cherry on top, you get a free 30 days of premium just for signing up with the code and sending me the screenshot to the number below. Now, we have a fantastic play on the sportsbooks for this game, so let's talk about it. Let's go over it, and let's see what we have in store. Here is the sportsbook play of the day for Thursday Night Football. And if you can't get a sportsbook, or even if you can get a sportsbook, but you want a better sportsbook that's going to give you this great promo, the best promo on the market, $15 for absolutely free just for signing up with code FFAPE. No credit card required, no deposit required, but when you do deposit $10, you can go ahead and you'll get $100 in bonus bets over on ONYX odds just for signing up with code FFAPE. And that cherry on top there is the fact that you get a free 30 days of premium plays just for locking in with code FFAPE. And here is the play. We got the Denver Broncos -6.5. Now, the normal line in the game is 8.5, but we don't like to take what the Sportsbook gives us because that's actual gambling. And what we do over here is invest. So we got the Broncos -6.5. I think they easily win by a touchdown. They might even cover that 8.5. But I like the 6.5 a lot more, just in case they only win by that 7 points and you end up with your handout looking for something because you took 8.5 and they only won by 7. So we're going to go ahead and take -6.5, saying that the Denver Broncos are going to win by a touchdown. And then the under over is set at 42.5, like we said. And I do lean that over. I do like that normal line. But again, we don't take what the Sportsbook gives us. We try to stay away from that as much as we can. And we're going to go ahead and take over 34.5. Why? Because I think that this game is probably going to go over 42.5, but I think at the very, very least, it'll be more of like a 21-14 type of game, and that would easily clear us out with 35 points. So we would win the bet, and that's what we're here to do. Now, when you match those two together, you get a -107 payout, almost doubling your money. So that is the free play on the sports books. I think the Denver Broncos are going to run away with this one. It's Thursday night football, though. Crazier shit has happened. So bet responsibly. Let's get another W. Let's sweep another NFL video play, and let's have a day. That's all we have for you in this video for Thursday night football. I thank you guys so much for your time, your support, all of the love. Keep coming back. I'll keep making these, and we'll see you in the next one for Friday, November 7th, which is actually my birthday. So shout out me, and I hope to see you here to celebrate with me.